So what did we just go over? Like what were we just graphing on those tests? What was the main thing we were graphing on that test that we took on Tuesday? What were they called?
Quadratic.
Yeah, can we draw it in the air? What did the graph look like? They were, it was either a smiley face or an upside down smiley face, correct?
Parabola.
Yeah, parabola. That's actually how I know how to spell it. But, so that is what your x squared is going to look like. That's your basic function for that. And then what does y is equal to x look like on a graph? It's a straight line, yep. Did perfect. Okay, so now I want you to look at those and then see what your ends are doing. See like where it's going and how everything is going to. Yeah. So you want to draw what the function is. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to activate your prior knowledge. I want to see what you know so I know how much I have to cover today. So it's actually, if it was just going like this, it would be like y is equal to like 2. Okay? And if your guys' some of these markers I borrowed from work, so if you need a new one, just it's fine. Go back to the back of the room. There's more markers. Do I actually have to draw a graph or I don't think that looks good. Do you want to go draw this on the board for me? Yeah, go ahead. Any empty space.
There's a lot of actually skill on it. For what?
The National Guard is being.
Just draw it out too, but we'll take up the whole white.
Because the National Guard likes.
What?
Do you want to draw this one?
Is it for band?
The marker one, anywhere?
I play the track.
It's for all the departments. So if you were making fireworks,
Anywhere. As long as it's not on the smart board.
They're like checking how long you get there. Well, dude, that's a fancy app.
Well, that is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Bravo.
Thank you guys. So what yours looks like is if we would shift it. It's still an x squared function, but we would have to put some more numbers to manipulate it to where it's going.
Oh, I wasn't even here when we learned how to do this.
Okay, now that we know what these graphs are supposed to look like, can you guys think in your heads for about 20 seconds what this end is doing? So what is this end doing and what is this end doing? Like where is it going to? Forever. What is a math term for forever?
Infinity.
Yes, infinity. So this is going to positive infinity, and this is going to, it's going down, so it's going to negative infinity. Okay, but this one's different, right? Both ends are going where?
Infinity.
To positive infinity. Okay, thank you. So now that we've kind of like started thinking about what we're going to be learning today, and it's going to be section 5.3, and it is called polynomial functions. So now can we get our notebooks out, erase what's on our marker boards, and let's start getting ready to learn some new knowledge.
Are we done with our marker board?
No, we are not. Actually, also, we're going to be using our phones today. We're going to be playing a little game to see if you guys have mastered some of the knowledge that I'm going to be teaching to you. So if your phone, it's on Kahoot. So you can do it on your computers, you can do it on your phones. If you need to charge something, let's get that started charging right now, okay?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad Jesse's not listening.
It's about 45 minutes. It's 9.
Bill Gates.
No, like, I love it. Remember, like, just chilling here in the house.
Oh, the commercial?
Yeah, that commercial. Just here with my new Lamborghini. You know, I like more Lamborghini.
The first thing that we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about degrees of a function. So, degrees. Does anyone know what a degree of a function is? Or a degree in an equation?
I feel like
Like
I'm not,
degrees?
yeah, like a degree in an equation though, like the, not like
Like a-
Fahrenheit, Celsius.
Like an angle degree? Like 90 degrees?
No.
Oh.
So that is like what we would use in geometry, but this, what class is this? Algebra 2. Okay, so degrees in an equation would be the exponent. So when we have the equation f of x is equal to x, we actually have no exponent right here. It's a 1. So it's degree 1. And then we have f of x is equal to x squared. So what do you think this degree is? 2. Okay, so then at each time I increase right here, I'm increasing the degree, right? So we could have infinitely many amount of degrees for this, okay? So now the other thing we're going to teach with the degrees is called leading coefficients. Okay, so what does the word leading tell you? First. So we just learned about a degree of a function. Where do you think the leading coefficient will be? So do you think it's an x or maybe, so I'm going to give you an example in an equation.
Is it the first number?
First number. So what would be the number in this one? That's the first number.
1.
1. And the same as this one?
Yes.
1? Okay, so what about if I wrote this equation now? 3. What about 1? Would 1 be a leading coefficient? No. Why do you think it's no?
Because it's the second.
Because this is, what is this exponent right here? Is it bigger or smaller? Smaller. So who cares about what's left in here? If you're trying to find out the leading coefficient, you're only going to look at the highest degree, which is 2, and then you're going to underline, so you circle this, underline this. You want to go up to the board and write some random function, exponents to whatever degree you want it to be, okay? Go for it. Oh, we'll all get our chance, trust me. I hate, first of all, just to let you guys know, I hate sitting around. I can't do it. I like moving around, as you guys seen. I've been like circling around and scaring a couple of you guys because I'm just kind of up behind you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Okay. So I want us to talk with our partners real quick, 10 seconds. What is our leading coefficient and what is our degree of the polynomial?
Yeah, 6 degrees. Team 7.
Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay, so what is our degree of the polynomial? 2. What is our leading coefficient? 6. Okay, good job, guys. So now, can we get out our phones and go on Kahoot real quick? We're already going to Kahoot because this is the first section, so this is going to be super easy. Look for the highest exponent and then the leading number in front of that, okay? Yeah, some of you, but
I mean, I'm the only person in the house running.
I'm getting on the full bar, but it's not working.
There's 2 people.
We should have gone for 17.
okay, I need 5 more people to log on, please.
There's only 11 people. 10.
1 more.
Only 10.
What are you getting tonight? Come on, Enrique.
I got it, I'm coming.
Okay, we have 10 players, so I'm gonna start it. It's gonna show up on your phones. Who hasn't played Kahoot?
Caroline hasn't.
Okay, I'm gonna start it. It's only 3 questions long. So remember, it's degree and then leading coefficient for your
What's the
answers.
question?
Do you not see that? Does it not pop up on your guys' phone?
No.
Oh no! So let's start that. Okay, so I'm gonna restart this. Okay, the degree in leading coefficient of 3x4 plus 5. 3x to the 4 plus
Just
5.
get these colors.
So then it's going to be 4 and 3, 3 and 4, 5 and none, or all of it. So, okay, time out. So here's the best part about technology. You can mess up, so let's all come around the computer. Just stand up, come over here, let's move, let's get our bodies going.
Stay right here.
Sure.
Oh, dang, I was incorrect. Can we restart?
Oh, yes, for sure.
One question.
Why are you showing it?
I didn't put the board down there.
Oh, shoot.
We don't have to have your laptops or your phones. No, we'll just we'll do all a team player and we can all play off of his, okay? Okay? Everyone stand up?
Oh, man, it's
We're not playing off our own devices?
No. No, we're only playing off of one person's device, okay? And they're all gonna say it's a team.
Alright, me.
Okay, you want to?
Yeah, you team
You
7.
vote?
Team
Okay.
7, all points.
Your new
Sean. Let's go. I'm ready.
Okay, so let's all look at it real quick.
It's the triangle.
Maybe different, Sean.
What is the degree of the leading coefficient?
Alright.
You guys know? What's a degree?
Okay, so Sean.
It's the triangle.
It's green.
What's a degree and then the leading coefficient? So
So
the
4 and
degree.
Yeah,
So what is it?
4 and 3, the
4 and 3.
triangle.
Das triangle.
No,
I
we have to wait for the time to run out. Okay, so it was 4 and 3. Good job, guys.
Got it right.
So next question.
Yeah, dude, I'm at the top.
I'm in second place.
Okay, 5 plus 3x squared minus 2. What is the degree and what is...
2 and 5.
1 and 2.
Why do you think it's 5?
2 and 3. 2 and 3.
So what is the degree? And then what is the leading
Yours
coefficient?
could be fast.
3, yes.
Team 7.
Okay, so this one's difficult. Let's look at the equation. 5x cubed plus 7x cubed. This one isn't simplified.
3 and 7 and 5.
3 and 12.
What do you think the answer is, guys?
I picked
So-
the blue diamond.
Why did you pick the blue diamond?
Because 7 and 5 equals 12.
12, so we have to combine them. We can't just leave them all separated. Because it's, yeah, the exponent's the same.
I got that right. There you go. I'm in first place. Look at me.
Wow. I'm glad you got
I'm in second place. Guys, can I get a treat?
people.
Okay, can everyone go sit down?
I got
Now that we have that all mastered and we know what to do, now let's think about that last problem, okay? We're going to think about now how to manipulate equations.
If you have, I don't want you to miss anything, but
So another thing that we need to learn about is how to solve okay. We need to learn how to solve functions. So I'm going to write a simple function, and this should be like a review or reminder of what you've done in the past. so on your guys' marker boards, you can write this in your notes too, but on your marker boards, I want you guys to write this out and then talk with your neighbors on where you're supposed to put that 2 at and how you're going to solve for that equation. Make sure you solve and show me, you don't have to show me every single step, but please show me some of your steps. Okay, I'm going to give you guys about 30 more seconds, okay?
Once you get it, yeah, you're gonna be like a what?
Okay,
I will.
go for it.
I don't know.
So the best thing you can do, is, you know, we can learn from each other's mistakes, or if somebody knows how to do it,
You can help
Chase is
them.
pretty confident. I'm gonna go.
I see you, Chase.
You look for everything.
Okay, so was that easy? Was it just like a refresher of what we're supposed to do, where to plug in the X at, and all that other? Okay, so everyone did a good job. So now we're gonna go get to some new stuff and some new material. So I'm gonna first show you how to do the problem, and then we're all gonna do it together on the marker boards, and then we're gonna put it in your notes. So our function is going to be and the verb that's going to go with this and that you're going to see in your homework is going to be evaluate. So you're going to evaluate this function, and you're given you're given this. So what does this look like? Just this section right here. What's your last one? F.
Is that F?
F of C. So it's kind of like my F of X, but I just use the variable C. So you can use whatever value you want. You can even use some Greek letters. In my math classes, we use delta and epsilon, and I absolutely hate it. But you can use C for these as well, or any other. You can do triangles, squares, whatever you want to do. Okay, so can anyone think of maybe where we're going to put this equation, or maybe this at?
Okay, well, I think that 3c minus 1 is x.
Is it X? Yes.
It would be like where x would be.
Okay, so what can you tell me about this entire equation right here? So what? This and this. There's how many of them?
2.
2. So there's 2 parts of this equation. So first you're going to plug this in for X. You're going to figure out what it is. You're going to simplify it. Then you're going to subtract. You're going to take 5 times by your X's. Okay? And then you're going to have to subtract it all together. So I'm going to do it together. It's a little difficult. When I was looking over the book, I completely forgot how to do this. So I had to reteach myself before I taught you guys. Okay? does this look familiar? Did we just get done learning how to simplify this? So can we all maybe condense this, multiply everything through real quick? I'll do it as you guys do it. Does everyone see where I got this?
Wait, I thought the -5
We're going to do that later. First, we're just doing the first part. Just the equation 3c minus 4. Because they're in separate parts of this. We're evaluating what we're going to put this in, and then we're going to subtract it from this. What is that?
Plus 14.
16, sorry. Okay. Can you guys condense this for yourselves and then tell me the answer? Raise your hand if you think you have the answer. Somebody want to tell me what to write?
9c squared minus 18c.
Confident voice.
9c squared minus 18c plus 5.
Okay, but we've only done this to one of the problems, right? Now we need to go back and do the other one. And I unfortunately write very big. So I'm going to write it somewhat over here, okay? So with the 5, let's see, it's going to equal, does that make sense? I have some confused looks. Where did I get that 5 from? Right, and then what is this really? We're just plugging it into what equation?
F of c.
Yeah, so the x squared. So I just put a 5 right here. And we're just going to multiply it through. So can we all multiply that through real quick for me? Kat, you want to tell me what you got for this?
5c squared.
Confident voice.
5c squared plus 4c.
And we've done that. We've multiplied numbers by equations. We've even pulled out the numbers. But unfortunately, we're not done yet. What is in between these two functions? A subtraction sign. So we're going to have to subtract this. And we need to remember to put this parenthesis or else it's going to get messed up because we're actually multiplying by a -1. Who wants to finish this up for me? Anyone? First one I make eye contact will have to. I have it all set up for you. So I have it set up like this because we found this equation. We found this equation, and now we're just going to subtract it. So rewrite it, and then let's multiply by a -1 first. So good job. Okay, but what looks bad about this one?
My handwriting.
Well, other than your handwriting, is there multiple x squared, c squared, c's, constants?
Yep.
Should we combine them all? Add them, subtract them together? Someone else want to do it?
Yeah, sure.
We'll check.
Not really. Anyone want to?
But I will.
You will? Go ahead. Go for it.
Do it, Sean. Bring it. Sean, you can do it.
Can everyone else do it on their marker boards for me, please? Or in their notes, wherever they want to put it. You have to subtract. You can actually pull a number out of this.
What? Oh, crap.
You added. Oh wait, never mind. Yep, never mind. No, you can't. There's one of my other examples that I've done. You can pull two.
She borrowed mine for something.
You
I
can
don't
if you
know
want
if she
to.
needs
How
something
you want to
else.
write it. You can simplify it more. You don't have to. What would you pull out?
So she'll have to use.
What is in
Okay,
every
all right.
single thing?
That's what we need to know.
2. It's everything.
Thanks.
So 2 and then a parenthesis. Or was that your parenthesis? So 2.
2c squared.
Yes. 2 times 2 c squared. So 2 times c squared is what? 4. Yep. 14.
14C
Mm-hmm.
minus 5.
And these are the same answer, except for you just have simplified and then you pull it out. Because sometimes when we're using these, we need to, maybe it's 1 over another fraction, just like we've already done. We've had fractions. So like 2/4 would go down to 1/2. Just sometimes this is helpful, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes we can leave it like this. For marker boards, and this is a more difficult problem. This has been, I see some of you guys are a little confused. So I want you to pair off into like 2 or 3 people per group, and I want you to try to figure out this equation, okay?
Can I request a trade for partners? Where do I at?
Okay, so the equation is our f is 2h plus 1 minus 6f of h. Then it's h of x is equal to x squared minus 2x. It's equal to 2x. And x squared minus 2x, yes. So, if you ever need help, we can relate back to this. You can raise your hand and be like, I am so confused. This is the time so we can help you out for homework.
I think it's gonna be 2h plus 1 squared twice.
we're solving it for.
We can make with the X.
And then we distribute H. H squared minus H, and then we get
Wait, what?
negative 6. And like the X is
We do
H.
that.
No, it's minus. We get rid of that one step, remember?
Box it so like start, so you know where it's at, yep. Yeah, and then we're gonna do 6, and we're just gonna multiply it by.
Negative 4.
Okay.
So it'll be 6. And then from here. Okay, this is like a two-step process, 2 separate versions.
No, you are, I'm fine.
Okay, where do you put the GH?
Well, good for you, Noah. I'm gonna take another page trip.
Yeah. The 2H. Oh, that's, yeah.
Bam. I'm done.
That's what. This is where, so you're gonna.
Can I just listen to what you're saying?
Which part?
It's just adding more.
I can't remember.
Yeah, Enrique, you legitimately have to back this whole thing out. Yeah, it really confused me when you do another variable. Please, let me show you. Which part are you on? Okay, so 2H
plus
Make it
one.
fun. Yeah, I know, I
Okay.
messed up.
Right here.
No,
This is your six.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I didn't see that.
show me what the inside is.
No, they don't destroy her expo.
You don't have to move it.
And this is your negative
Does
six.
it look like a regular worker?
No, it's got this sort of big,
So yeah.
it's big like, you know, like
Okay.
this material on top. It's like a big
But then
metal
it's
one. It's really bright.
But now we can
The
color.
one is like really bright metal. So like,
Yes, looks like a regular worker.
Oh, yeah. And I'll bring that back. You can back my transforming.
I felt like you don't.
Yeah, so right now we're, so what did we change here? Did we change that one?
In the bench.
Oh, it's supposed to.
Yeah, it fell apart.
Okay, so now to make it combine, like turn, so.
Oh.
Okay. All of these are at seven.
I've already erased it.
You guys work together, right?
Yeah. We didn't write it on.
Awesome.
You want us to write it in our notebook?
You can, we're gonna write this next one in our notebook and we're gonna talk about it together.
Okay, so I'm just
Okay.
gonna do it.
That's fine.
So after we find this,
Mhm.
we plug this in, right?
Yes, where does that negative six go to?
The age shown.
No.
The very first.
So it's negative six.
Negative six x squared. Minus two.
So if you guys can-
So you're gonna. Got it. So it's squared.
multiply over. So what is that? H differences?
Oh, you can be. Did you get it? Okay, I got it here.
So then. Oh.
We would make this easier for you. Casey's shoes. Yes, I remember. These your dad's too?
Yes, and then I.
It's probably not. Oh, I'm sorry.
You first.
My Air Maxes were too big.
What did you answer?
Damn, Jordan, my Jordans are like.
The tie less beautiful.
And when I'm on board,
Tie less beautiful.
Just the answer.
oh, just the answer?
Just the answer.
Oh, then I'll do that.
Just the answer.
You want to cut
Yes.
these off you?
Yeah, freaking bummer. You know, I was so freaking.
Oh, my gosh.
How?
Cause
You can explain to me that. Well, thanks. Where do you have? How are you in English six, so stop. No, we won't change it. I don't know.
Okay, so this one's kind of hard for us. So we're going to go through one again. We're going to go through the notes. We're going to talk about it. We're going to stop where we're confused at. And then we're going to try to discuss it with our partners. For those of you that get it, try to help out someone that doesn't, okay? Let's try to work together as like a team.
there's one right in the market.
I think it's you plus.
I'm going to erase it.
It was just
Just
there.
make the 6 negative if you didn't make the 12 positive.
Yeah, so I think what's hard, like hurting a lot of us right now is that we are having a hard time with multiplying negatives through, making sure adding and subtracting, right?
The only thing that doesn't quite make sense to me is like with the second one. when
This
it's
one?
like- Yeah, when it's like negative like 5F and then it's like C or whatever, like that just like. I don't know.
What's yours?
You left the 12.
Okay, so let's all just say X's. All X's. Does that sound good? You can keep them. So in your book, you're gonna have different letters. But for right now, you're gonna get the process down. We're gonna all elaborate on what we're gonna do. Okay?
Is that better, Chase? No, I'm doing great.
Okay, so for right now, everything is going to be addition. We're not going to worry about anything with subtraction, okay? So we won't have to worry about any negative numbers. It's all going to be positive numbers, okay? So what is the first step that we need to do?
The 3x plus 4.
Okay, so where do we put this 3x plus 4?
E for X.
In for x. In for which x?
X squared and x.
X.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
Feel free to use another marker if that one
Okay.
is running out too much.
Okay, so now we have to remember how to FOIL, right? And I am a step-by-step person. I have always been a step-by-step person. So I'm going to write okay, because it's a square, that means we multiply them together, right? Yes. Oh, sorry. In my notes, I have a plus. Thank you. In my notes, I had like a -4, so I just switched it around, so we have all addition. But we can just do this one together. Okay, plus. Okay. Is this all a lot clearer? Do we see where we're going from this, multiplying everything through?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I have some confused faces. Do we know how I got from this step to this step? Because it's squared, right? So we take 2 of them. We multiply by 2 of them. Just have this and carry this down. Okay, so now I'm going to FOIL. Everyone know how I got the 9x squared?
3X times 3 equals
3x, because 3 times 3 is 9, x times x is x squared. Where did I get the 16 from?
4 times
4 times 4, where did I get the 12x? Plus 12x.
4. 3X times
everyone can write it down. If you guys need me to write extra steps, just tell me, okay? I'm trying to put as many steps as I think you guys can handle. And then something with all of these equations and all of like this big, long equation, something that you can do. I'm going to box my like terms right now. So I know that these have no x's in them. I can add them all together. So what's 9 plus 16? 25. We know it's positive, so I'm going to put a plus there. So now we have our x. 12x plus 12x. What's that? Okay. So I'm going to underline this. We only have, oh. So what else is that going to be? See, even I mess up on these. Like, you're human, you're going to mess up. But by eliminating the ones that you know you have added together, it'll help you figure out where you need to go. So we only have one squared, right? So then in my notes, when I'm doing this, because sometimes, we're doing line after line after line, you can start it like this. Look here, I need to come back and do this. This helps you, also reminds you, I need to do this again. I need to use this somewhere else. Okay, so now that I have solved for this one, what do I need to solve for now?
2f of x.
2f of x. Where do I put that 2? Then write it down. Where do I put it? In front of...
X squared plus x plus 2.
Okay, so I'm going to put parentheses again. So we need to multiply through it. Now what do I do?
Distribute.
Distribute. Multiply it through. Okay, I'm going to star this one again. I know I need to come back to it. I am not finished yet. Now what do I do? Other than this side of the room. Can someone from this side of the room tell me? Where do I go next? I subtract. What equation do I put first? My first star. So then this one's going to be the second one, right? So let's do that. Well, yeah, we're adding. Okay, so what is a total I've taught you guys since we have so many? Come on, what can we do to know where they're at? Let's box them. So let's do these nice numbers first. 35. I know it's a plus. Now let's underline our x's. I see an x here, see an x here. What would that be? 29x. Now I'm going to star my x squareds because I know those go out in front too. What is 9x squared plus 2x squared? 11x squared. Does that help out anymore? Do we want to go through another problem? Do we want to do marker boards? Do we want to just work together? Do we want to come up with one? What do we want to do? Do we want to try any more of these? Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Think about it. Talk to your partner. What do we want to do? Do I need more help on this? Think about it. Because I have written so many equations for this one because I know it's hard. Okay? Think about it. Talk to your partner. Talk to the person in front of you next to you, okay? 30 seconds. Okay. Do we want more problems?
Yeah.
We want more problems? Okay, let's do at least one more problem. Now, I'm going to have a subtraction in this, but it's only going to be one, okay? I'm going to make it a little bit harder. Now, I want you guys to help me out a little bit more, okay? Now that we went through that problem, let's try to do it together a little more. Right here. So we were doing ones where we're doing subtraction. This is going to tell you a lot about where it's going to be at. And if you see that it's subtraction right here, let's do an example. Let's do an example that it was like f of whatever minus 2 of f of whatever. You can just go like this, if that helps you. Make it what's easier for you. I'm going to show you what I like to do, but you guys are old enough, and if you need to do this, go for it. I did it up until probably sophomore year of college, and I'm a junior right now. Okay? Okay. First step. What do I want to do? Think about it. Okay, talk to your partners. Okay. Okay, I heard plug in what?
Plug it in the equation.
Plug in an equation. Can you tell me what I'm supposed to write? Can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay. 2 times by what we're plugging into our equation. Okay, this one's a little bit more different too. Where did I get this 2 from?
It's 2
Yes, right here. But I don't have to put it through yet. So let's do, because please excuse my dear Aunt Sally tells us what should we do first? Should we multiply it by 2 or should we take the exponent? Exponent, good job. Do you guys see why I'm using straight brackets right here? Okay, this is just telling me so I remember I need to multiply this before I multiply the 2 by this, okay? Okay, can we please FOIL this out real quick? I'm gonna walk around and see how you guys are doing. get this far. You know how to FOIL. Okay, so now what do I do with this 2? Because we have parentheses, what do I need to do? Times everything by 2. We can combine these like terms too, so I'm going to do that all together. So this is a negative, what do I need to do? Distribute, because it's actually, we can times by negative 1. This is a negative, because this is a negative x. So I'm going to write this, what our answer was, again. Now I'm going to times by negative 1. Do we know how I got here? Because this x, we're plugging this into it. It's a negative number.
Come in.
Now, let's box those ones without x's, okay? What's 72 plus 2? Minus 6. Oh. It's positive. Let's underline the x's. What's 48 minus 48x minus 2x? 46x. We just have 1x squared. So I'm going to star it, circle it, so I know I have to come back to it.
I wasn't here when you got that either.
Well, yeah, you probably will want to. Yeah.
Then
Now I'm going to times 2 by what? So now I'm starting the next step. Start at that next step, what do I need to do? This equation right here. It's going to be like, we're going to graph y is equal to 3. This is going to be a degree 0, so we have no x's. Okay? This one is going to be degree 1. That's going to be, what did we graph today that was a degree 1? What was in our bell ringer? Yes, so it's going to be like those, just having an x. No other degrees. What have we been doing recently with, what is the degrees that we've been using with for our chapter, the last test that we took? Parabolas, and what degree are they? 2. That's what that equation looks like. You've graphed that one. Now, have you guys graphed degree 3s yet?
No.
So it looks like this. Degree 4s go like this. And degree 5s kind of, and as you get bigger, even more curves, even more. But have you noticed I've been circling where they intersect the x-axis? I want you to look at that. Degree 1 is circled 1 time. Degree 3 is circled 3 times. Degree 4 is circled 4 times. Degree 5 is circled 5 times. Degree 2 isn't circled any. So it's circled 0 times, but we know it can cross it twice. We're done. So when you have even or odd functions, what do you think an even or an odd function is? what the degree is. We've been talking about degrees, right? An even function, what degree do you think it, like, what are some options for the degree? X squared, x to the 4, x to the 5th, x to the 6th, all even numbers. You guys know what even numbers are. You've probably known that since what, kindergarten? Even numbered equations, even functions, they're going to cross the x-axis an even number amount of times. So we're going to assume 0 is an even number. Notice 4 crosses it 4 times. What is 4, even or odd? Even. So let's look at the 1 degree. How many times does it cross? Once. 1 is what? Even or odd? 3. So how many? Even if we had a different equation, would a degree 3 polynomial cross it an even amount of times or an odd amount of times? Odd. So if it's an odd function, it's going to cross the x-axis how many times? Well, an odd amount of numbers. An even function is going to cross it like an even or an odd amount. Even. So if x squared, it's going to do even. X to the 25th, even or odd? Odd. X to the 100th, even. Okay? That's going to help you out with doing some of your problems as well. So, for like my closing and kind of, I want you guys to, we're running out of time, so I'm going to talk to you about what I researched last night. So I was like, why would I want to teach this to these kids? What is this going to like help you learn? How is this going to find you a job? How is this going to help you figure out what job you want? Okay, so I did just an easy, why do I need to know how to do polynomial functions? One of the things it came up with is they use some of these equations in financing, so business. They also use this for predicting the weather. How many of you guys know that it's going to be like 60 degrees today? They're going to be using that to figure out how to do that. So there's some job options when you want to know how to do these. Go into business. So, and you said like predicting profits and others, they're going to use equations, polynomial equations. So does anyone have any questions about how I figured out that you can use this in real life? Okay, so honestly, just Google. If you ever be like, oh, this is so boring, why do I ever need to learn this? This is pointless. Google. How can I use this in real life? Or real life applications of whatever math you're doing. Okay, if you ever just feel like, oh, this is so boring. I would do that, okay? Now I'm going to write the whole
They never think that though, right, guys?
They never think that.
Of course not.
I'm in
Of course
a
not.
300 level math class. I am proofing things. I'm writing 4 pages on why a square is a square. It is boring. I sometimes have to redo it. But it's teaching me how to think critically. And it's also, I'm going to be able to be a great geometry teacher because now I know why side, angle, side is a thing. Okay? You know what? That is not always the best answer.
The square is square. That's the word that they decided to call it.
That is true. Okay. So, your homework assignment. Oh, I know.
I believe in you, Sean. I believe in you.
Okay, that is an 82, 82. So you need to do 80, 81, and 82. Okay, and then another thing that I would like you guys to do, you don't have to participate in this, is, so I'm obviously going to school to be a teacher. I obviously did not do the best. I could have done it a whole lot better. So just a half a sheet of paper, can you just say, what could I have done better to help you out? Or maybe, I like the marker boards because this, could we have used that more? Or, you bombed Kahoot. How could you, like, tell me how I could have fixed that. Or maybe like, any other input, be like, or, hey, you were not talking loud enough, I couldn't hear you, your writing is atrocious. Like, something to let me know what I need to fix because I would like to be a better teacher for the next time that I teach.